Simple throw in. You normally see a pass back here, but he'll turn the corner, kick it into the box, and Rodriguez doesn't have to worry about any kind of a shot attempt, scrambling after it to get the goal kick and put the ball back into action as quickly as possible as we near the 35-minute mark, and the Lobos still down 1 goal. That's only the Lake Dallas roster. Austin Ut, number 21.
That's what I'm going for. Just to make sure I spell it right. UTT. Okay, thank you. That's all I needed. He's a senior, right?
Yep. To the back post. Too far. And 2 Lobos will work together seemingly to clear the ball. Still in the box. And a lot of green space out there for the Lobos to operate, making it much more difficult for themselves than it needed to be. And the Falcons will switch fields with it, trying to get it to their left striker. And that header will miss the frame. It'll be a goal kick for the Lobos. The goal, at halftime, the conversation for Lake Dallas was clearly to get the ball to the left striker and push on the right side of the defensive line for the Lobos. No question about it, as that has been where 90% of their play has been focused. And it looks like they're going to try to do it all over again. They definitely saw something that they discussed at halftime to put the pressure back on that right side. Well done there by Schumacher. Struggling to clear. Now a big foot trying to find Castoriana. And contact in the back of Schumacher will lead to a free kick for the Lobos. Rodriguez will restart for the Lobos. Lake Dallas pushing forward. Jose Rodriguez in the middle of the field with the ball. Now switches fields. Back over to that right side of the line for Little Elm. Schumacher doing an awful lot of work in his corner of the field. Header leads to an open goal. Rodriguez. Call him Jackson. He is stonewall when given the opportunity to be inside his own 18. Stopping Falcon offense like Stonewall Jackson stopped the Union Army in the early parts of the Civil War, and Rodriguez once again collects the ball defensively and puts it back into play. Little Elm struggling to maintain any sort of possession that would allow them to put some passes together in an offensive effort. Lake Dallas again switching it over to their left side of the field. Little Elm's right side. And now a ball up ahead. Off the chest. Rodriguez got a piece, and now his defense coming to his defense. And a penalty called A penalty kick called for, and Little Elm is trying to find out why. And quite frankly, I do not blame them. You'll notice the Lake Dallas players came over to give a word of encouragement to Daniel Rodriguez, who was clearly clipped in the play, struggling to walk it all off, and now getting directions from the referee regarding this penalty kick, which could put the Lobos in a 2-goal deficit. And the penalty kick is good with 3:04 remaining in the second half. Little Elm finds itself in a 3-1 deficit following the penalty taken by, I believe, number 7, Anthony Patty. While the Lobo defense has not exactly been spectacular, it has certainly not been awful. Just 2 small miscues and now a penalty inside the 18 have led to 3 goals, all of which were controllable, none of which were in those moments. And the root cause of that problem has been Little Elm players just struggling to maintain possession of a ball, even while standing still. And a slide tackle from behind by Brock Pope goes completely uncalled. And now it is fair to question the judgment of this 2-man crew as Auden Quinones was slide tackled from behind and no foul given on the play. Castoriena with the ball, dancing between defenders, only to lose it to the 3rd member of the 3-headed monster defensively, keeping an eye on Santiago Castoriena. That play by the Falcons headed out of bounds. It'll be a throw-in for Lake Dallas. It'll be a throw-in taken by Gabe Despain. And now a throw-in for the Lobos as that ball goes out of bounds off Lake Dallas. And as predicted, the physicality is increasing, and now a foul called in the middle of the field. Hansel Cabanas is given a free kick for the Falcons in the dead center of the field, about 25 yards away from the onion bag, defended by Rodriguez. Lake Dallas will put 4 players forward on this free kick. And a beautiful play by Rodriguez keeps it out of the goal as it hit the crossbar, and Rodriguez will now collect it and push it forward for Castoriena, who settles. And that ball is whistled dead. Well, we certainly came to watch a few green shirts today. But those green shirts tend to stand inside the 6-yard box and protect goals. Martin Saucedo lost track of the line that he was supposed to be staying inside of, works hard to get the ball back, and he'll play it forward on a give and go with number 17, Angel Morales. Auden Quinones loses it in the middle of the field, gets it back, and looks to flag it for his teammate. Little Elm once again struggling to maintain enough possession to put a few passes together consistently. Squeezing it through Martin Saucedo. Great pass to Auden Quinones, who pushes it up ahead to Castoriena. Loose ball in the box. And it is collected by Caleb Irving as he became the third member of the triumvirate assigned to keep an eye on Santiago Castoriena. The referees will allow Irving to collect himself before restarting the action. And the aforementioned wind at his back allows a great punt to switch fields. And that free kick is settled by Lake Dallas. Rodriguez off his line to collect the free ball. He'll restart the action on the other side of the field on a toss. Castoriena dancing more than Kevin Bacon does in small towns. Shot on goal collected by Irving. And Jose Rodriguez, number 8 for Lake Dallas, has collected himself and pulled himself off the brand new turf here in Lobo Stadium. Irving with a much worse punt, just being honest. Collected by Little Elm. Good passing here as the Lobos put a few passes together. Schumacher will look to switch fields and get it to Castoriena on the far sideline. Instead, it ends up at the foot of Martin Saucedo here on the near sideline, right around midfield. Rodriguez with a clearance to the foot of Lake Dallas. And there will be a soft little touch into the box. Rodriguez off his line to make the save. And a great side volley out. Starting the break for Little Elm. Fantastic start by Rodriguez. Castoriena in the middle of the field sets it up for Auden Quinones. Now coming into the action from the back. Inside the 6, and a great play diving across the 6 is Caleb Irving, the goalkeeper for the Falcons, wearing bright green. Flashed the green across the letter B in Lobos to make the stop. A fantastically well put together offensive blitzkrieg. All started with the offensive recognition by Daniel Rodriguez, and the Lobos will look to start it all over again as we get below 23 minutes in action remaining. Throw in for the Falcons. Once again, thank you for tuning in and following along with us as we see substitutions from both sides. If you haven't already, and you're following us on YouTube, the 11 of you who are right now, hopefully more as this game goes on. But if you're following along with us, please make sure you hit the subscribe button, ring that bell, give us a like for tonight's video, and make sure that you subscribe, like, and comment to let us know that you're watching so that we can give you a friendly shout out for supporting Little Elm TV and our student crew here tonight. Free kick given to Little Elm just below the 18-yard line. And a quick offensive play. And there is a lot of green space there for Lake Dallas. Played way too early. And Little Elm will recollect and restart from their own defensive half. This is going to be a great shout out. Thanks for following along with us on YouTube. Mystic Kalachi. Be great if you had a real name, but we'll work with that one for now. This must be what Jimmy Fallon feels like when he reads through things. This comment from Mystic Kalachi now. It's not even hashtag Wednesday. Back to the action. Castoriana in the middle of the field. Once again with multiple defenders on him. Auden Quinones finds the ball at his foot, gives it back to Castoriana. Passes ahead and a great save on the doorstep. Oh my goodness. Caleb Irving sacrificing the body to protect the near side of the 90-degree. Oh, near post was wildly exposed, and Irving had to knock it outside of the frame, laying out to get to that one. A beautiful offensive possession put together by Little Elm, and it'll result in this corner kick into the box, oh, to the back post, and kept out by the post defender. I believe that was Jose Rodriguez on the back post, keeping it out. Another fantastic defensive display by Lake Dallas, keeping it a 2-goal game in their favor. And if you are the goalie for Lake Dallas right now, Caleb Irving, you are not exactly excited with this kind of pressure that you're facing with a 2-goal game, as that shot does a little harm as it sails over the uprights into the face of the wind in a cold and windy night here in Little Elm, Texas. Under 20 minutes to play. A 3-1 game currently for Lake Dallas as they make a substitution. Both teams expecting fouls that are rarely, if ever, arriving. Which is what I would have expected from the very beginning of this varsity matchup game with a 2-referee team. Lake Dallas looking to switch fields. Some physical play on the near sideline, won by Orlando Castro. Swung around to the far side of the field. Well played by Rodriguez, cutting off the angle on an unmarked offensive player on the other side of the field. And as the defense scrambles, Daniel Rodriguez has found a way to put himself between the ball and the frame on multiple occasions. And in a potential theme for the evening, Little Elm, as soon as they've maintained possession, return the ball back. To the Falcons in an otherwise unthreatening offensive possession. A few shout outs here to our followers on YouTube. Drew, we agree, unlucky twice. Especially those first 2 goals, just a little bit unlucky, a little bit of disorganization provided a righteous opportunity for the Falcons to score, on which they capitalized. Also following along with us, Christian Acosta. Thanks for following along. Make sure to all of our followers, please make sure you hit the subscribe button, give us a like, and let us know that you've tuned in to support your Lobos. It'll be a throw-in on the far side for Lake Dallas as they control a 3-1 game as we near 15 minutes remaining in action here in Lobos Stadium tonight. If you're enjoying tonight's stream, make sure you subscribe to Little Elm TV. You can also follow them on Twitter at Little Elm TV 1. And you can also tune in with us on Friday night as we'll be back here in Lobos Stadium providing you the Lady Lobos soccer matchup live, just as we are tonight, for our boys. Excellent defensive play from the backfield by Saucedo. And again, that physicality ramping up with the 2-referee team. That pass chased down and kept in by Lake Dallas. Played back out to his support as he swings it into the top of the 18. And that ball was perfectly passed by number 9, Orlando Castro. And the Lobos can be asking for an offside all they want. There was one defender keeping everybody onside. And unfortunately, that's all it takes for everybody to be onside and score goals such as the one just scored by Lake Dallas. On the scoring end of that goal, number 10, Caleb Ledbetter for Lake Dallas. Now a 4-1 game. Shout out to Ryan Bagel following us on the YouTube stream. We appreciate your support for your Lobos. Castoriana with the ball following the deflection. Caleb Irving just scrambling to kick the ball outside of his 18. And quite frankly, if I had Santiago Castoriana bearing down on me with a soccer at his foot, with a soccer ball on his foot, I'd be terrified too. I'd just be looking for simple clearance even as a senior. Reset and play it again. Castoriana finds the ball at his foot once again, dancing through the defense. And he will work I'm going to say it was off of him, and it'll be a goal kick for Lake Dallas as we near the 12-minute mark remaining in the second half of our game tonight. Two refs, man. They're going to call what they can. This is the problem. Once again, Little Elm struggling to maintain possession and put a few passes together from the back line. Rodriguez looks to clear it all the way out for the Lobo offense. Once again, that wind, especially up high, will knock that ball down here in Lobo Stadium, really preventing anybody on the back line, including Daniel Rodriguez, from getting anything started from the back, which is Little Elm's preferred way of really getting their action going. They're not a team that puts passes together in the middle of the field, as well as I'm sure head coach Aaron Ziem would like. Lake Dallas will make a substitution on their throw-in. And going out of the game will be number 18, Gabe Despain. His substitute will be the one to throw it in on the near sideline, right around the 50-yard line. And another throw in here on the near sideline for number 15, Sam Montoya. Headed out of bounds, and as we near the 10-minute mark with a 3-goal deficit, Little Elm struggling to not only get possession, but maintain it and continue to play as we see some physical play in the middle of the field. Austin Oot struggling to get across the field. Number 21, a ways away from the ball. I would expect him to take a knee here in just a moment. Oot using his body well to create a stoppage for the shot. And Quinones puts a pass up to Castoriana that goes once again lacking in it finding its target. Say what you will about the Lake Dallas offense tonight, while not creating nearly as many offensive opportunities as the Lobos, certainly better at taking advantage of them as they've managed to put up 4 goals tonight. The 2 in the first half certainly questionable as to whether or not those are by their own doing or by falling on the sword in Lobo blue. As Castoriana dances between 3 Falcon defenders and eventually loses it to the opposition. But the 2 goals here in the second half, without question, a direct result of the Falcon offense being able to put a few passes together and sniff out the back of the onion bag on multiple opportunities. Montoya back to this near sideline to throw it back in. Nice settlement there on the restart. And below 8 minutes now in action. Lake Dallas doing well just to play a little bit of keep away. Going all the way back to their back line. I wouldn't even be surprised if they played it back to their goalie, just as they have. As he falls down, being pressured by Jorge Ramos up top, and Castoriena's kick is good through the uprights. It is not good if it were a soccer goal. Certainly had a right idea trying to get that shot in from that angle. Caleb Irving fell trying to play the ball for Lake Dallas. Ramos did well to just apply some pressure on what was otherwise a meaningless play. And Castoriena, with the shot opportunity, once again goes lacking off the frame. And now we'll have a stoppage in play. It'll be a Lake Dallas ball right around the 35-yard line. 6.5 now remaining in the game. And a shove in the back will provide Little Elm a restart. Auden Quinones looking to turn with multiple defenders coming at him. Now finding a little bit of free space for himself until the fullback takes a step forward. And another substitution. This stoppage in play will allow number 6, Chaz DeVivo, to exit the field, a senior in his own right for the Falcons. And newly into the game, Adrian Garcia will find the ball at his foot, clear it into the and pass it to his teammate, who will switch fields for the Falcons. They'll play in front of their own bench on the far sideline. Lake Dallas with a 3-goal lead, content to just run out the clock. They don't need any more offensive opportunities unless Little Elm just gives them one. Now under 5 minutes remaining in the game. Rodriguez steps into it to push the action for Little Elm. Settled in the middle of the field, dead center, right on the Lobo by Lake Dallas. And they'll play it to the outside. Auden Quinones kicks it out of bounds off the deflection. It'll be a throw-in for the Falcons. And a stoppage in play as a foul was called on Auden Quinones for physicality. Can't imagine that there would be a card here, but the referee is walking toward Quinones. He's walking to mark where the ball should be. Free kick will be taken by Anthony Patty. At least, potentially. Yep. Two-man wall for the Lobos, and Patty puts it to the corner, where Brock Pope will force a Lobo to kick the ball out of bounds. And now we're down to 2.5 minutes, and the Lobos still down 3 goals. Kicked out of bounds. Auden Quinones will handle the throw-in for the Lobos. Christian Ramirez carries it over to the other side of the field, passes it up to Schumacher, who will look to go up his sideline, where it's defended by the Falcons out of bounds with 1:45 remaining in the game. And in what was certainly a theme of tonight's game, Lobos struggling to maintain possession, and the swarming defense of Lake Dallas really caused a lot of havoc for some of the better players for Little Elm. Auden Quinones barely getting anything started on his end. And of course, Santiago Castorena watched at all times seemingly by the entire Lake Dallas defense, keeping a couple guys marked on him throughout the game. Once again, as we get down to 30 seconds remaining in the game, we'd like to thank those of you that tuned in for the live broadcast of tonight's game. And to you, Dalen Sell, I also respond with, wah! Before we sign off, a big shout out to our student camera crew tonight, helping us out with the live stream. Our camera people are Shelby Turner, Jolene Hibbs, and Aaron Sharp. Our director tonight is Brianna Hazelwood, and our producer, Raina Huber. And that bell, or that horn, ends our broadcast, or ends our game tonight, with the visiting Falcons taking a 4-0 victory out of Lobo Stadium. The lone goal tonight scored by Auden Quinones off the assist of senior Santiago Castorena. We appreciate you tuning in for this live stream. If you haven't already, make sure you hit subscribe so that you can stay with us for the game on Friday as we bring you the Lady Lobos matchup here from Lobo Stadium. We thank you for tuning in. My name is Joe Brodsky, and as always, go Lobos!